service was rendered. I mean, how's that defined? Committee meeting.
We can define it. I had contemplated that would be actually meeting with staff and discussing the issues that would have been on the agenda or that are on the agenda.
Okay, so does that have to be defined somewhere?
I can add something right now so that
I
we
think
can
that would be
adopt it.
I think that would be wise.
I think that's a good definition.
If you're comfortable with that definition, I will.
But with a definition.
So long as there was some type of business conducted with the staff.
Regular committee business.
What constitutes that business?
Yeah.
But that's,
I can maybe I can add a sentence right now. If you give me 1 second, I will craft it.
She's crafting the sentence.
Director Mitchell wanted some definition of what service rendered meant.
Oh, I see.
And Mala is trying to craft a sentence to do that, provide that definition.
May I say?
We didn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I thought at one point we talked about it had to do anything that was like business, I mean district business or related to the particular committee.
I have crafted a sentence, but it's more detailed. This sentence reads, "Service shall include meeting with board staff to discuss items on the agenda." So that would be specific to that committee meeting,
Right.
which is what you would have been doing had the other board member been at the meeting.
I like that.
I do too.
Okay.
Excellent. Very good. So, are we prepared for the question? Item number 10. Are we prepared to agree on the amendment as stated?
Yeah,
Very good. So,
I made the motion.
all right. Second. So it's been moved and seconded that we approve the amendments as shown and further amended by Mala this evening. And are we please would you call for the vote?
Director Savage Johnson?
Yes.
Director Mitchell?
Yes.
Director Sykes Miesi?
Yes.
Director Yanez?
Yes.
Director Hagan?
Yes. So that vote carries. Moving to item number 11. This item has to do with, in the past, we were awarded a day of service when there was a committee meeting that was aborted without due notice. And really, the only reason this is on the agenda today is because it needed to be approved by the board to do that.
Is there you're asking for an approval for a day of service or for the cost, the usual compensation for a committee meeting?
The day of service was how it used to be, and that's what I was wondering.
I believe it's the committee meeting amount, which is the $100,
So,
Yeah.
so
separate from the day of service under the board meeting.
So be it. So I'm asking for approval by the board. I move to approve.
Some
Second.
discussion. I want to have a little discussion because I've attended a meeting where one of the committee members couldn't make it and actually went through the whole. And I think we just didn't have policy in place at that point. And I think that we have it now. And I think that we are doing committee service, and that I think we can get one of those days away because I did. And so I really feel that from this time forward, we should compensate folks who have policy in place. But I really don't think that we should make it special. I think all of us have actually attended meetings when one of the other participants wasn't there. And I think that I don't know if we want to go ahead and approve this today as a kind of a special item for this compensation.
Through the chair. The request is that Mr. Higgins requested to have his compensation as a committee meeting or as a board a day of service.
It's a committee meeting.
As a committee meeting, I would suggest to go ahead and give Mr. Higgins his compensation because if he was the only member and he attended to the committee meeting, he should get his day of pay. well, his day of, not the day of service, a regular meeting, committee meeting compensation, which is $100, I believe.
Yeah, is that, if I hear you correctly, are you saying that you would you recommend that he get approved the regular compensation for committee meeting versus the day of service?
Just a regular committee meeting, period.
Regular committee meeting, period. It's $100. Mm-hmm.
So is this a precedent where, I mean, are we gonna be retroactively, like, I can go back a month or two and basically say that, you know, I attended a committee meeting by myself and bring this up as an item? I mean, is this a precedent from, I mean, how far do we go back, and being reimbursed? Because I remember the chairperson actually attended a meeting, and this was raised up by the chairperson, that she did not get compensated for having a one-person meeting. So is this a precedent where we actually go back and pay folks within the last year who have attended meetings and where committee meetings where one of the other participants was not there? So is this I
would think if it raises to the level of having a transacted business, as we have just amended to say that it shall receive compensation as long as services rendered at the time scheduled for such meeting. I certainly myself would not have any problem if anyone wanted to make a retroactive claim here.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I think that if you attended the meeting and there was, the agenda was discussed, then you should be compensated even if it was just yourself at the meeting. Now, we as individuals have the option to decide whether or not we want to be compensated for a meeting of one or whatever the situation is. But if one takes off work and comes down and is attending the meeting and the other person doesn't contact them and let them know that they're not going to be here, then the person should be compensated if they come and discuss the agenda.
But, you know, I would really like to, add a friendly amendment to maybe look at the last 6 months, because this is a case where also the chair attended a meeting, committee meeting that was not compensated. So, we might look at a friendly amendment to make this retroactive 6 months, since we didn't have a policy in place. So it'll be fair to the other directors who attended meetings, committee meetings without the other person being.
If I might clarify, the existing policy prior to tonight, when you just amended it in your previous action, was that if a committee meeting was attended by only one member, he or she may request compensation